the expectation of being a man. When it comes to the understanding of what it takes to be a man, the first thing that comes to your mind is a societal standpoint of being a provider. Most time we associate this word being a provider as it relates to sustaining something or to purchase something of material value, meaning to be able to pay a bill or to take care of a person or just being responsible or accountable to the things that you are set over as it relates to your relationship or relates to you just being a man, period. Most times we get lost in the translation of our expectations because we undervalue ourselves when it comes to the understanding of being a man. I use a man for example. He was a provider for his friends. He was a provider for those whom he loved. He was a provider for those who need help. He was a provider to those who need an ear. He was a provider to those who needed something to drink. He was a provider to those who needed a father. He was a provider to those who need spiritual counseling. He was a provider to those who just needed love. So his value wasn't set at a certain expectation. He actually super exceeded the expectations of being a provider. Sometimes we need to be able to look society in the face and realize that the standpoint that society has set for us is a status quo. And I know that society is moving in a direction where men are beginning to speak out and men are beginning to open their mouth to bring back the value of a man being in the household. But I believe the value was distorted, or the value of it was displaced or disorganized because the word provider was always the focal point of maintaining or bringing something to the table. Sometimes what you bring to the table can be a providable substance, but what you bring to the table needs to be able to super exceed the expectations of what a provider is. And why do I say this? Sometimes as men, we get sidetracked with our occupation. Sometimes as men, we get sidetracked in our daily habits. Sometimes as men, we get sidetracked with the things of life. And what we have to do is pull ourselves back into a position of being sustained in a place of providing. And what do I mean? Sometimes we find ourselves being educated or going to school, and we get so distracted by that's only becomes our focal point. And we put a substance around it and say, I am providing. I'm trying to sustain an education so that I might be able to go out to society or go out into the world and obtain a job or a profession of great value to bring back something of substance to the table, so you know that I am a provider. But sometimes we have to be able to still be able to do that and be a provider for our children, still be able to do that and be a provider for our wife, still be able to do that and be a provider for our friends, still be able to do that and be a provider for yourself. And what do I mean? Be a listening ear for your loved ones. Be a hug away from your loved ones. To be able to sit down and take a break and relax and find yourself in a place of being able to have people in a position to come to you so that you may be able to provide for them. When people see you, they ought to see a foundation of a man named Christ. When he walked the earth, when he walked and talked, when he moved to and fro, as he moved from one destination to the next, there was always a substance about him that people knew I could come to him with an expectation of what he could provide, even if it wasn't related to his occupation. What do I mean? Always place yourself in a provision of exceeding the expectation of your status quo. Your status quo cannot be so fulfilling that you're not relatable to another person. If I am going to spend 9 hours on the job, I can't come home and only spend 2 hours just talking. There's another 18 hours, 24 hours in a day. There's another 15 hours that I need to be able to put myself in position to be there for those